me flip this around. All right. Let me grab a stool. Let me find a chair real quick. What are you guys up to today? Thought I'd come show you the what that tool handle looks like. Oh, I didn't realize Josh was live. Let me back this up just a little bit. Who's in the chat? Back this up just a little bit. Who's in the chat? Hey, Joe, what's happening, man? I was gonna do, I can't remember, Joe, were you here the other night when I turned the handle for that big roughing gouge for the lathe? Yeah, Joe, you're my buddy. Hopefully I'm your buddy. I thought that bowl you were working on yesterday turned out pretty good. I was in and out of the live, but... yeah, so let me show you what it looks like, Joe. You know, epoxy, this is what it looks like. Epoxy has a way of getting freaking everywhere. So I taped it and I put a paper towel to protect it, and it got a little bit here and up here. But as you can see, the epoxy, I had this full. This was kind of sitting straight up when I was pouring epoxy, and it sunk in about probably a 1/4 of an inch, 3/16. But I used your suggestion the other day, and I used the Dremel, and then that wasn't working so well, so I found a better drill bit based on your suggestion and Josh's suggestion. And so I just took it out today. Oh, cool. I'll look forward to seeing that bowl, Joe. And then, but what I want to do is mount this to the lathe. This isn't going to come off, so I want to turn this off on the lathe. I've never done anything like this. It's probably just a little dangerous. But hey, I'm in my shop, so I'm not telling anybody else to do it, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you guys are joining me today. This is a red oak. This is an ebonized red oak handle that we made on Thursday night's live. I've got this antique roughing gouge. It's like a 2-inch roughing gouge. I use it on my really large chunks of wood. But the problem was the handle was like right here. So you really couldn't get good leverage. So if you look at my easy tools, they're much longer. So this is my version. This is what I came up with the other day, just to give me the extra room, because what I like to do and what you're supposed to do is you put this against your hip and your body controls your movement, not your arms. Your arms are just there to kind of hold it in place. So it gives you more control, more versatility, less chattering, which means the bit or the tool isn't going to bump around or jump around as much. So you're supposed to get a better cut. So let's chuck this up. Let me show you how I'm going to chuck it up. I've never done it. I want to chuck it up and clean that up, and then we're going to re-ebonize this. And then probably put a little more boiled linseed on it. Hey, what's up, Plywood? What are you doing? So let me switch the camera over here. Get you guys zoomed in over here. That's what we're going to try. Yeah, Joe. I really like those tools that have the long handles so much better. So this is what I'm going to do. Haven't done it. You guys are learning with me. I hope you learned something. Grumpy, what's up, man? So here's that tool we turned. I'm going to try to put it in here, kind of protect it a little bit. And there we go, wedge it in. We should have our little hole already from the other day. Cool, man, check it out. Louisville, Kentucky at Cracker Barrel. All right, plywood. My favorite at Cracker Barrel is the sampler plate. In Oklahoma, you get dumplings, ham, and meatloaf. What's your favorite at Cracker Barrel? Oh, I know, Joe. I had no idea either until I think I bought mine, my longer tools, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And this one, this was a set. See all these old tools here? The ones with the red handle or the red paint, those are all from the same set. So this is just one out of the set, but I really don't use them. Check this dude out. I should use this more. Look at this skew. Look at this dude. I should do the same thing and make another handle. There's a skew that I got. That is freaking a beast. I need to make a handle for that. Hash browns sound good. I haven't had those at, wait, don't they have hash brown casserole, I think? I think I've seen that. So let me see if I can get this camera zoomed in for you guys or moved. I want you guys to be able to see this. I've never done this before, but it's kind of cool, man. Look at this. So we're trying to get rid of that epoxy. That blue is the epoxy. So we're going to try to, I'm going to turn this away. Let me tighten this a little bit. I'm not trying to get all crazy, but, and man, this is what you got to remember. This is a blade in here. So if it spins loose, it could cut me. So I'm not trying to get real, oh man, I forgot this thing's going really fast. I got to think about this for a sec. Make sure I'm really tight. I forgot this lathe goes a little fast. I forgot about that. My little lathe isn't this long, so I really have to think about what I'm doing here. And I'm going to go put on my mask, get my tools. Well, that's as low as it goes, I guess. All right. I want to see if I can spin this off, but that's going to go, that's going to be freaking fast. Hold on. Okay. I want to see if that's, okay, it's not. Let me center this a little better. See if you guys can see that. We're going to try to center that in there a little better. Lessons learned with that epoxy. I haven't used it before on tools to fill in the shafts, but Josh gave me that suggestion and I think it's a pretty good one. Okay, so I'm cranking this down pretty good. I'm not going nuts, but all right. That's just a nice tight fit. Yeah, it looks balanced now, Joe. Let's double check. See, that's a lot better, I think. Yeah, before it wasn't balanced, but that's centered better. I think we'll be fine. I'm going to put my mask on, get a tool, and see if we can make that happen. And I'm going to get my stuff ready so that I can quickly sand it and all that, because I don't want the lathe running very long at all. I want to minimize that. All right, you guys ready? I know, Joe, I'm a little nervous, man. think it'll be fine. If it wobbles or anything when I start it, we won't do it.
Oh shit, forgot about that. All right, I got to keep going. Dang.
Holy crap. And if you guys remember, hey, what's up, Todd? What's up, Robert? If you guys remember Thursday, I don't use this lathe very often. The power switch actually failed. Yeah, the tailstock is engaged, Joe, and tight. But the power switch failed, so I'm having to plug in and unplug the lathe every time. What about a round blank that you could split with the gouge to fit? Robert, that's a pretty good idea. Way to go, Todd. Hopefully your phone's okay. All right. So that worked, guys. I gotta tell you, I wouldn't try it again. That's a little sketchy. You could tell it was out of balance because stuff all around my lathe was falling off. So I'm gonna mask back up. We're gonna ebonize this again real quick. Let me get my mixture. And then we're gonna throw some BLO on it. And then we're gonna move to the other lathe and try this out. Ebonized red oak. Yeah, Todd, we made that handle. This is my antique roughing gouge I got a few years ago, and it was so short. So I made this on Thursday's live, and I put epoxy in it last night, so we're going to test it out tonight.
All right, let's test it out.
Let me grab a spindle real quick. Oh, there's one.
Let me cut one of these real quick. Come on, baby. Barely.
All right, what do you think? Try it out? Robert, it goes quick, brother. All right. Let's do it. Well, heck, it works. Hey, Charles, what are you doing? Charles, we are testing out my new gouge. I made this handle Thursday night on the live for my gouge. This was really short, so I can already tell you I'm gonna love it. I need to sharpen it really badly, but so much more comfortable and get a lot more leverage. Usually when I'm using that, it beats me up. A lot of chatter. Hey, Todd, I'm in the over 50 club, so I got you, man. Smash that like button for me, guys. I appreciate you showing up. I think I'm going to turn this into a, let's make a rolling pin real quick. What do you think? French style rolling pin? And in honor of Todd, if you guys haven't followed Todd, he is LJ Woodworks. He did a great video in the last couple of weeks about using a, dang, I just spaced out. Never mind, I forgot all about it. What tool is that? I guess I'm low on blood sugar. No, man, I am blanking out. Todd, what is this? I spaced out completely. Anyway, he has a great video on this, and I'm going to try to use it since this is a short turning, because my gouge really needs sharpened badly. But my biggest thing today was to test it out because I just put epoxy. I just mounted this in there yesterday. I'm super happy with it so far. So supportive. Having the extra length, I put it at my hip. So really stoked about that. Now I've got to cut a new slot in the tool holder. Skew, thank you very much. Man, I was spacing out. I'm like, I don't know. Hey, all I can blame it on is blood sugar. And I am in the over 50 club, just saying. So let's keep going. I'm going to try the skew. Let's see what happens. I'm probably going to get a catch.
there? Yeah, definitely. I haven't tried it, but hey, I'm learning, Todd.
And hey guys, if you're watching, if you're new to the channel, please put new in the comments. And guys, if you have been part of the community, please welcome the new ones. And just so you know, LJ Woodworks is a great one to follow for wood turning. We've got DIY Lemma, which is Joe. He does a lot of DIY. He just recently put out a planter video, and this week he was turning a bowl, so he also does some wood turning. So give them all a follow. There's a lot of good people to follow here. I'm not very proficient or good with a skew, but let me tell you, just feeling the wood, the finish quality is so much better. It's so smooth, like it feels like it really doesn't need sanded where it was cut with the skew. So I know that's a benefit of it, but I'm wanting to get better. This is what I'm doing tonight, is practicing on this. So let's see if we can keep going, and then I'll bust out a different tool. But I'm having fun. Hope you guys are too. Big Max, what's up? How you doing, Big Max? Yeah, I am cheating. Ha ha.
That works. That's close enough. What's up, Ray? Well, the two ends aren't the same, but I thought of that, Todd, but I didn't want to get a catch. I thought I did pretty well not getting catches before, but I totally thought about that. But I was like, I'm just happy I got a little better.
Try to get away from the dust over there. I was going to show you guys that joined late. So here's the rolling pin. This is made out of ash. It's from a table I'm building right now, so it's a free offcut, free scrap wood. Hey, Alan, what's up? So at craft shows, I get anywhere from $15 to $20 for these. I usually, in the falls, usually when I do quite a few craft shows. So I'll throw that in a tote. But here's what we did today, guys. Let me back up. So Thursday, we turned this handle for my gouge. We turned this out of red oak and we ebonized it. Oh, I forgot to ebonize that. I'll have to do that. And then yesterday, I installed the gouge and did epoxy here. And today we used it to start on that rolling pin to rough it. And it really gave me support. I had it against my hip. So that's what I was going for. Hey, thanks, Mike. Yeah, I've done it. I did it on a linen cabinet and a vanity last fall. So pretty cool. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this. Much happier. The old handle was like to here, so it's so much more control and support. So, and you know, hey, that was my intent, was to help it out. Now, if you guys want to, I think 77 Rockets and Mike from the Whackin' Shack, they usually do their live. Is it 5 or 5:30 Central tonight? I can't remember. I was trying to get my live in before they went live. Hey, Samira, thanks for stopping by. See you, Plywood. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Do me a favor, if you want to see on the next live, if you want to see me make a box, put box in the comments. You know, a few months ago, when I started doing lives, I did a lot of boxes. So let me know if you want to see a box. We can make a jewelry box, keepsake box, something like that. All right, Todd saying box. Anybody else want to see a box? Let me show you what I use to make those boxes. This is one of my hand planes I love using. We make the grooves for the doors or the bottoms and the tops. So pretty cool. This is a Veritas right-handed box making plane. Hey, Tim, I do. Send me an email. It's myhoneyshandmade@gmail.com. Or if you look on my playlists, I have a wood turning playlist. A lot of it's me. They're not that instructional. They're more, I mean, you can pick it up, but it's just me more making things. I'm not a great instructor, but if you look up LJ Woodworks, he does better instructional videos than I do. I basically am on the lathe making things, but I'm not an instructor per se to teach you how to use the lathe. I'm still, you know, I'm 5 years in, I'm still learning. But with a compass rose inlay. Dang, Todd. Now, you know, Todd, I can cheat. I make inlays with my laser. So inlays are fairly okay. I wouldn't say simple, but yeah, I've never done a compass rose, but I know what you're talking about. That'd be pretty cool. Hey, I'm thinking about just a generic box. Note to self, if you saw my recent short, I did a box joint jig. But guess what? This is the crap that happens. This box is not square. It's a waste. I'm going to be able to salvage 2 pieces of it. But because I cut the joints too thin, it really wouldn't fit together well. So I'm making a box starting Monday with a different style. It'll just be with a Festool domino. Butt joints with a Festool domino. And those work fine. Those are super strong. You have a lot of longevity. So, Perry, what's up, man? Perry, I've been meaning to text you about live stream software. I know you've been testing out a few things. Get you guys out of that light. Hey, Todd, let me ask you a question. Do you have a microwave in your shop? If anybody can think of a reason why a wood turner would want a microwave in their shop, let me know in the comments. All right, thanks, Tim. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, LJ is a much better instructor, so. All right, 3 years ago, hey, Ronaldo Mendoza. Yeah, thanks, Perry. 3 years ago, we redid our kitchen, 3.5 years ago. And I kept the old microwave because you can dry wood blanks in the microwave. You can run it for 30 seconds, let it set for 5 or 10, then run it again. Honestly, I've never used it like that. I've used it, I think, once to heat up epoxy. So, cool, Perry. I'll holler at you this week, man. So, hey, guys, looks like next week we're going to make a box. In case you guys didn't know, my name's Steve with My Honey's Handmade. I'm a full-time furniture maker, woodworker, laser engraver. I do all that. So I look forward to hand planing and making boxes, but I use a hybrid approach. I'll use power tools and hand routers, or hand planes, I mean. So I like to use it all to get the best I can for my customer. So we'll make a box next week. I don't know if it'll have inlay, Todd, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not very good at that. So hope you guys are having a great evening. If you have mothers in your life, be nice to them. So see you guys later. Catch you on the next one. Exactly, Todd. Just a tool, man. But it's a very enjoyable tool. Doesn't make a lot of noise. And it doesn't create a lot of dust. That's what I like. So talk to you guys later. See ya.